Sorry. 33 men, 700 meters below the surface of the Atacama Desert, 5 kilometers from the mine entrance. A massive slab of rock collapses behind them, and the road out no longer exists. No one on the surface knows if they are alive. No rescue plan exists for this depth, at this distance, in this type of rock. They will remain buried for 69 days. The San José mine sits 45 kilometers north of the regional capital of Copiapó, in northern Chile. It is a copper and gold operation run by Compañía Minera San Esteban Primera. The men working deep inside it on the 5th of August 2010 are miners doing what they have done before, descending into tunnels carved through unstable geology, extracting ore, and expecting to return to the surface by the end of their shift. This is routine work in a region built on extraction. The Atacama Desert above them is one of the driest places on Earth, and the wealth beneath it has drawn miners for generations. Their plan is simple: work the seam, ride the vehicles back up through the spiraling access ramp, go home. That is the normal day. That is what every one of the 33 men expects when they begin their shift. On the 5th of August, the rock fails. A cave-in seals the tunnel system. Hundreds of thousands of tons of material crash down, blocking the main access ramp. In an instant, 33 men find themselves cut off from the surface. They are 700 meters underground. They are 5 kilometers from the entrance, and the path between those 2 points no longer connects. The collapse is not a partial blockage, it is total. The collapse does not simply close a door, it eliminates the corridor. The ramp that spirals through the mountain, the only passage wide enough for vehicles, is buried beneath rock that has shifted on a geological scale. On the surface, teams know immediately that something catastrophic has occurred. But what they do not know, what no one will confirm for 17 days, is whether anyone below is still alive. For more than 2 weeks, the fate of 33 men remains entirely unknown to the world above. Underground, the 33 men face a set of conditions that compound hour by hour. They are in a space not designed for habitation. The mine is deep, hot, and humid. Ventilation systems are severed or compromised. Light depends on battery-powered equipment that will not last indefinitely. Their food supply is whatever was stored in a small emergency shelter within the tunnel network. Provisions never intended to sustain 33 people for more than a few days. The shelter exists for brief emergencies, not for an entombment measured in weeks or months. Water is scarce. The temperature at that depth in the Atacama region pushes well beyond what the human body can tolerate comfortably for extended periods. There is no communication line to the surface, no telephone, no radio signal capable of penetrating 700 meters of solid rock. The men are, in every functional sense, sealed inside the earth with no way to signal that they have survived the initial collapse. They cannot confirm their own existence to anyone above. On the surface, drilling teams begin exploratory boreholes. The challenge is extraordinary. They are trying to reach a space roughly the size of a small apartment, located 700 meters down, through rock they cannot see. Each borehole attempt takes days, missed by even a few meters, and the drill passes through solid stone, telling them nothing. The geometry of the problem is unforgiving. Precision must be maintained across a vertical distance that dwarfs most drilling operations of this kind. Meanwhile, underground resources diminish. Whatever food exists must be rationed among 33 men. The darkness is not figurative. Once batteries die, it is absolute. Humidity saturates everything. The heat does not relent. The men are trapped in conditions that attack the body from multiple vectors simultaneously: caloric deficit, dehydration risk, heat stress, and the psychological weight of total isolation, with no confirmed rescue effort visible from their position. There is no external information reaching them, no sound of drills, no vibrations they can interpret with certainty. Day after day passes. The men do not know if the drills above are even close. They do not know if the surface has given up. They cannot verify anything beyond their immediate surroundings. Each day the body weakens slightly. Each day the margin of survival narrows. The original emergency provisions, stretched thin across 33 people, move toward exhaustion. Rationing can extend supply, but it cannot create what is not there. 17 days after the collapse, a drill bit breaks through into the space where the men are sheltering. This single borehole, narrow, not wide enough for a person, becomes the first confirmation that anyone has survived. The men attach a message to the drill bit. It is the first evidence the surface receives that all 33 are alive. 17 days of uncertainty end in a single moment of contact. But breaking through with a narrow borehole and extracting 33 men from 700 meters of rock are entirely different problems. The hole is only wide enough to send supplies down. Small packages of food, water, medicine, and communication equipment. A rescue shaft capable of lifting a person must still be drilled. That process will take weeks. The engineering challenge of widening a shaft to extraction diameter at this depth is immense, and no timeline can be guaranteed. So the situation transforms but does not resolve. The men now have a supply line. They have communication. They have confirmation that the world above is working toward their extraction, but they remain underground. The drilling of the rescue shaft is an engineering problem at extreme scale, with no guarantee of the timeline. Equipment fails. Rock shifts. The men must continue to endure heat, confinement, and the physical deterioration that accumulates in a body held in these conditions for weeks on end. Knowing rescue is coming does not change the temperature. It does not expand the space. It does not restore the weight already lost. The narrow supply borehole allows nutritional support and medical monitoring to begin. But the conditions of confinement, the temperature, the humidity, the absence of natural light, the confined space shared among 33 people, continue unabated. The men face a sustained endurance problem, not a single crisis. Each day underground is another day the body adapts to conditions it was never designed to sustain. After 69 days underground, the rescue shaft is complete. On the 13th of October 2010, the extraction begins. One by one, each man is placed into a narrow capsule and winched to the surface through the shaft. The process takes almost 24 hours to complete. All 33 men are brought to the surface alive, every single one. After the last trapped miner is lifted out, the rescue workers still underground hold up a sign before the camera. It reads, "Misión cumplida, Chile." An estimated 1 billion people are watching the rescue broadcast live around the world. The moment is witnessed on a scale few events in human history have achieved. The survival of all 33 men for 69 days at that depth sets a record for the longest time workers have been trapped underground and survived. The physical toll is documented in medical records. The sustained heat, nutritional deprivation during the initial 17 days before contact was established, and psychological stress of prolonged confinement all leave measurable consequences on the men who endured them. What this case demonstrates is specific and narrow. Survival underground at this depth and duration required a combination of factors that no individual could control alone. The structural integrity of the refuge space, holding against further collapse, the surface teams persisting through 17 days of failed boreholes before making contact, and 33 men managing shared resources under conditions that eroded the body daily. The margin between this outcome and a different one was never wide. It held, but only just. 700 meters of rock, 69 days, 33 men. All of them returned to the surface. That fact is verified. The cost of those 69 days is still being measured.